agreements or anything like that, but I was unsure about the dwarf.
McNee Smashers.
I'm not.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, just saying I'm not going to sign it.
All right, easy enough. So on the shared journal, you'll see that everyone has 25 gold. For the two that signed it, he, true to his word, he pays them their full amount right up front.
Who signed it? Because I think that's what I missed.
Ateros and
Lyra.
Atros? How do you pronounce that?
I'm just saying Atros.
Because that's how it's actually spelled. Yeah, nope, that's right then. All right. So, walking in, I don't need to try and describe this woman because I have concept art.
Nice.
Yeah. So, this is Rhea Mantlemorn. You can't really tell from the picture, but she is actually just a teenager. She comes into the room, head held high, politely nodding to you as she answers to Thavius Krieg, who tells her to take a seat. Kane can still hear us. So Kane, you notice she does not have any of the Hellrider regalia, which the Hellriders, are they're like the official military of Elturel. So Kane would know that Krieg called her his lieutenant, but she's not got any rank insignia. She's looking more like some fresh-faced recruit than his lieutenant. What is everyone's passive insight? Because I need to add that to the shared journal as well. I need a passive insight and perception because I forgot to do that.
13 for both for Lyra.
I got 12.
11 for both.
Sorry, passive insight and what?
Perception.
Oh, 12. For
Oh,
both.
12 for both. 12 for both.
Is this to learn what I already know, or do I need to roll?
No, this is not a roll. This is just passive. I never wrote it down.
My passes are all 10.
We are a very perceptive group.
13's not too bad.
13 is not too bad. So
We're also level 1.
Right.
I mean, my other dude's a 19, so.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
Lex.
Lyra picks up that there is some obvious tension in the very first question that Rhea asks, which is she asks if he is going to allow her to take the creed today before she starts her first mission. And he very curtly says, "No, stop being rude to our guests. Sit down."
Ooh.
Right. So if I got this right, he just openly allowed us to take this creed, but not this person. Is that what I just got here?
Correct.
I have no regrets.
Thavius Krieg apologizes for her rude interruption and says that he is a busy man, and so he's going to lay out everything he needs you to do in Elturel before you head out on your trip to Baldur's Gate. First, I don't expect you to have to pay for anything on your trip. I've already arranged with our provisioner at the companion's table. I'll give you a map that shows you where everything is. Don't worry, I'll give you that before you go. They have been given orders to stock up a wagon full of rations and supplies for you that will last you your month in Baldur's Gate. I don't expect you to have to pay out of pocket for anything.
That's very thoughtful of you.
Very generous.
Yes, we try to be here in Elturel. There's a blacksmith who runs a general store. Again, it'll be on your map. He'll have the wagon and he's shoeing the horses. So just grab those from him. And the one thing that I will need you to do that may actually be a little bit dangerous is I received a report this morning on my desk that some dwarven masons that we hired were asking for assistance from the Hellriders. It's an internal matter to Elturel, and I'd rather have you look into it. if you don't think you can handle it, send me a note back, and we'll get perhaps Gideon Lightward, one of my Hellrider commanders, to go in and take a look at it. Kane, give me a knowledge religion check, because you may not have heard of this guy even though you've lived here.
Does that have to be trained to use?
No trained to use. It just means no proficiency. All right, good enough. Gideon Lightward is one of the higher ups in the Order of the Companion. Specifically, he worships Lathander. He is also one of the older folks here in Elturel, and one of the many people who stood by Krieg's side, because, as you know, the Companion is a fairly new thing. I guess none of you are. Well, no, the dwarfs long lived. So for you, the issues of these vampires in Elturel, that was like only 50 years ago for you, which dwarves live a long time, so that's a blink of an eye. For the rest of you who live a normal time, that's like stories that your like parents tell about the glory days, right?
Yeah, I'm 20, so I would have only heard of it.
Yeah, but so people like Gideon Lightward and Thavius Krieg, that was their moment to shine, and where they saved Elturel. So you know of him, but you've probably never seen him, because while Thavius Krieg is political, and so he's out there, he gives speeches, he does all the high holiday stuff. Gideon Lightward is much more reserved and behind the scenes. Krieg says that he is sorry. The meeting is going to have to be coming to a close. Do you have any questions before he turns you over to Lieutenant Mantlemorn?
I have questions about these dwarves.
Well, unfortunately, I don't know much about them. The map that I'll give you shows where their dig site in Elturel is. Again, the people who hired them are some functionaries 5 or 6 levels down from me. It's only because it was a matter of particular interest to me that I was even given a report. It should have probably been handled, like I said, 5 or 6 levels below the High Observer of Elturel.
Will looking into this prevent us from doing our mission in Baldur's Gate, or?
I would hope not. I believe you should be able to take care of this before you leave Elturel. And like I said, if when you get there it turns out it is something bigger, let any of the members of the Hellriders or the City Guard know, and they'll bring me a message, and we'll take care of it after you leave.
Sounds fair enough. We should be on our way.
Thavius Krieg agrees. He stands up. Rhea stands up and gives him a salute. Once again, Lyra, you notice that when he looks at her, it's a very odd look. He's been very, professional and reserved, but this is a much warmer look than he's given anyone this entire time. And he sort of pats her on the shoulder as he walks out the door. Rhea turns to all of you and says, I am so glad to finally be getting out of Elturel. I'm sure that we're going to have so many stories to tell on the way to Baldur's Gate. Have any of you been there? Everyone just tells me it's a terrible city. Horrible.
I have never been there, but I know many songs about it, and it's an interesting place. Lots of fun things, lots of terrible things.
I've been pretty much living in a hole for the last 5 years, so.
I've never been there, but Rhea, I'm curious. Do you know why you weren't allowed to take the creed of the city?
Everyone's passive is high enough to see that that she is trying to restrain her anger, and she's not very good at it, because Thavius Krieg, the High Observer, is overprotective and doesn't think I'm ready. There have been people younger than me who have taken the creed. There have been people less experienced than me that have taken. She goes on for a couple of minutes unless you're going to interrupt her about how she is being slighted. when she's done, she says, but the point is that the High Observer has Elturel's best interests at heart, and I know that once my training is done and once Torm believes I'm ready, I will take the Creed Resolute and I will stand with my brothers and sisters in defense of Elturel.
All right.
I'm just going to
Can
seductively
you
eat my
tell us how
banana.
you're in and what we need to do, or?
Yes, and so Rhea is going to show you a map of Elturel, which, let me make sure that I share the right thing. Excellent. So this, can you all see that?
All I see is Rhea still.
Edit in player, all players, save changes. So you should now see an Elturel key in the Elturel Prelude section. Is that correct?
It is
Yes.
now on my
Yes.
screen.
All right. So Rhea says that she would like to go visit Gideon Lightward at the High Hall in Grand Cemetery if you have time. Otherwise, if you just let her go, she's going to go off and do whatever she wants to, and she'll meet you at the gates of Elturel. If you want her to come with you, she will, but she understands that you guys have preparations you need to do.
I'm assuming this
I am
will be
mostly prepared. I have all my belongings with me, my spell book, my most prized possession.
Note to self: steal spellbook. I'm
Maybe that's
assuming
what I
this would be the
wanted you to
time where
think.
we would want to go check out the Dwarven Dig site.
Yes, as well as the other two things that Krieg mentioned you should look into, which he has helpfully put on the map: the blacksmith shop and the companion's table.
What a guy.
Yeah, no, he is very well prepared for pretty much everything.
Should we go down the list?
Ah!
Why is the bakery?
Dog. Rhea says that the bakery is on there because before she leaves on any training trip or anything, she stops by there because she's grown up with the baker's children her entire life and she likes to say goodbye before she leaves, and B, they have the best cookies in Elturel.
Cookies are necessary for an adventure.
I mean, I don't want to say no to cookies.
Who would say no to cookies?
I mean, it would be rude not to say goodbye. So we must also pay our respects.
And pay for cookies.
Just as an aside, what are we looking into with the dwarves? I missed that part.
Krieg didn't actually give you much detail except that he thought that it was something that it was brought to him, he said, because it was something that whoever reported it to him, he didn't say who, thought was of particular interest to him. But he looked at it and he basically, like any super high executive, he looked at it and was like, this is not my business, and kicked it back down. So you don't really know what it is
Until we check it out.
until you check it out. So if there's nothing else you want to ask anyone, Rhea will escort you out of the area here, and on leaving the building, Kane is Zemar is probably used to this second sun in the sky that is shining, and it's so bright that your shadows are barely visible. That's how bright it is. For those of you who are new to the town, they actually have blackout curtains at inns so that people who aren't from here can sleep. It is a beautiful thing. Rhea looks up at it in reverence and mentions that the Companion's Light has been protecting Elturel since Thavius Krieg and his followers raised it to banish the darkness.
So I got a couple questions.
Shoot
First off,
away.
I look at the dwarf and go, "This must be hell for you."
I'm still getting used to one sun. This is,
And my second question is out of character. I'm assuming that big giant glowing ball in the sky is going to mess with our dwarven friend here.
Well, yes, like no more than regular sunlight, but it's just extra uncomfortable.
Cool.
Yeah, I've heard the story thousands of times my whole life. I know.
No
Look,
warning can really prepare you for that. Much prefer darker climates or just slightly dimmer.
so, since Kane is a native of Elturel, and whether he wants to share the story or not is up to him, the simple fact is that one thing that everyone who lives and worships in Elturel is very clear about is that the companion itself is not a god, right? They don't know which of the good gods put it up there. Some think it's Aminther, which is why it's called Aminther's gift. But then, what is it? Lathander is called the Morning Lord. So, but basically everyone in Elturel just sort of agreed we're not going to argue over the religiousness of which gods it is. It is venerated, but it's not a god. And so that's just something that being from Elturel, you just know inherently. So there you are. You have the key to Elturel there, which if you need me to, which you should be able to open now that it's in your journals. And so you let me make sure I put in the shared journal everything. Are one of you actually keeping things up to date in the shared journal, like what you need to do and all of that? Otherwise, I can keep like writing in there.
I'm trying to, but I'm not the best.
No, you
Despite
only have
four-
one monitor, right?
Yeah, despite having 4 monitors, all of my monitors are currently being used.
I should not be trusted with bookkeeping.
We all stare at Kane.
Well, there we go. I don't think Kane has 2 monitors either. So those are the 3 things Krieg told you to do. Rhea wants to see.
Oh god, he suddenly went quiet. I thought everything just broke again. I was about to have a
No, I forgot I need 2 hands to type. Rhea wants to see Gideon Lightward, and then it wasn't an objective you were given, but the bakery is listed on your map.
I think we all agreed we need cookies. Not to embrace my halfling stereotypes, but I'm embracing my
Love
halfling
cookies.
stereotypes.
All right, so there you are.
Halflings are the worst.
Hey, watch your mouth there.
Actually, you know what? I don't. Let me just give a
Human.
quick look at Rhea. Yeah, Rhea looks and is like, I thought dwarves and halflings got along to Ronald.
Ooh.
Keep in mind I'm a halfling.
Right, she totally doesn't know that. I checked. She is completely convinced that you're just a scrawny-looking dwarf.
Scrawny. What?
Yeah, do a push-up, dwarf.
Yeah, get down here and say that to my face.
Did you see those bulging muscles on his icon?
Oh yeah, I guess it's more just you're a short dwarf. Because you are still small and not medium, so.
So I guess
will
bakery
bash out your
first.
knees.
To the bakery.
But dwarves,
Oh,
dwarves need help.
The dwarves can wait.
Fresh
It'll be-
baked goods can't.
Fresh baked goods can't. They won't be fresh for very long.
Fresh baked goods.
all right. So we're all in agreement to the bakery,
To the bakery.
To the bakery.
Pebble Huck Bakery. Which let me zoom in a little bit because I'm having so many issues with this map. There we go. That's how I do it. Which, as you can see, Pebble Huck Bakery is where the 1 is. Where is the 1? I remember
Next to the
where-
6.
5x6.
Yeah, so it's right near it's right near the gates of town. So as you approach it, it smells great. Probably all of our people who have any relation to halflings immediately recognize both the architecture outside as well as the smells. It's a traditional halfling building that has been modified to work in a human city. It's a homey little building, and Rhea walks right in because she's she sort of stoops to get in. She's short but still way taller than halflings. As you go in, it's a homey little place. It smells like you would expect a bakery to smell. Inside are the Pebble Hucks. There are the let me see. I believe there are 2 children in here. Yes, 2 children who immediately like run up to play with Rhea. Grab at her sword, and she tells them, "No, don't touch that." Uh, at the back of the bakery are the 2 adult halflings. Lyra, your passive perception is enough to notice that well, I guess they're all owners here, but the male immediately like shimmies behind the counter so you can't see his torn up pants and his torn up like all of his like very old clothing as he says hello and asks, come in. What would you like? We're just finishing pies. We should have another set of fresh bread in about an hour. And I see that you're friends with Rhea, and I assume the High Observer.
Friends is a strong word for the High Observer.
I mean, we just met the man, so that seems a little bit of an overstatement.
Oh, I'm sorry. Anyway, if you're here, you can spend. He has roughly about 3 silver worth of baked goods available. So you can buy him totally out if you want, whatever you want, because I know you all have loads of money now.
I feel like every traveling party needs some traveling songs and some traveling baked goods, so I think we should just take the whole lot. And I just shove.
I agree. I'll throw a silver in for that.
All right. So you have 3 silver worth of baked goods, which, let me put this in the journal, which is a lot of baked goods.
So many baked goods.
Is this accurate that the currency goes copper, silver, electrum, gold, platinum?
No one speaks of electrum.
Okay, so ignore electrum. Gotcha.
Yes. I think it's the only one that's not in base 10, so we just ignore it.
Yeah, never mind. Ignore me. I'm looking at it now. Continue.
So as you're, packing up your pies and cookies, the female halfling woman, all of the books call everyone male and female, and it sounds really weird to say that. So the woman is sort of counting the silver, like you could see like she's doing the math in her head of all of the bills they're going to have paid off and be able to put into savings. Meanwhile, the guy who's helping you pack things is incredibly thankful. I think this is actually the party gets inspiration, so just sort of mark down that you have an inspiration. The man introduces himself as Pilster Pebblehuck, and he says that he is so sorry for anything that he said about the High Observer. It's usually he doesn't pay for a week or so.
It's all okay. It's all okay. We all understand where you're coming from.
No, it's just this is the first time he's paid up front. First time, like I'm so glad we're not having to, stretch things out. Well, this is going to be great news when my oldest daughter, she's out picking berries right now outside of Elturel. In the safe range where the Hell Riders ride, but still, this is going to be good news. She won't have to go out for the next week or so. Anyway, thank you so much, and take care of Rhea for us. I know that she's not always the easiest to get along with, but the old man rubs off on her.
Old man.
Earshot?
Well, I missed what Kane said.
Is she in earshot?
She's playing with the kids, so no. She's clearly oblivious to everything going on around her.
When
I mean,
you
she
say
thought he was a
old man,
dwarf.
Do you mean old man as in like a parental figure? Or just that he's old?
Oh! He lowers his voice, even though he obviously knows Ray is not paying attention. So I thought I'd recognized you, but maybe you don't spend a lot of time with the Hell Riders, but ever since Rhea was a little kid, she was orphaned and brought here, and Krieg has been looking over her sort of as a substitute father, and so he's very overprotective of her. And well, anyway, his wife is giving him the side eye that he's clearly talking too much, and so he says, "But We don't say anything bad about the High Observer here.
Understood. Could be bad for business.
I thank Master Pebblehuck for his time and for his patronage.
Other way around. He thanks you for your patronage.
Oh no, I say you probably did recognize me. You probably see me in a tavern or two, and I nudge him in the gut a little bit.
I most assuredly have never been to a tavern. And he's actually being quite serious. If you recall that Elturel has, there are taverns here and all, but there are some people here who are, a little more uptight than like you being a bard, you sort of expect them to be. But he's quite serious that he would never be caught dead in such a den of iniquity.
I give him a wink because clearly he's just trying to hide it from his wife.
Just ruining his afternoon.
Right. So, unless there's anything else you need here, is there anything else that you want to do?
Should go to that dig site. So, is the dig site within town?
Yes, it's what is it? It's number 5, right? It's up there. If you follow the road to Maiden's Leap, which
I can tell Ronald is very concerned about the dwarven dig site. So,
Sorry, I was distracted by something.
we should probably see them so that way he can have a clear conscience and everyone can focus on this mission.
Ray is not walking around with us, right? Like she went off to go do her thing.
No, she's with you guys unless you tell her to get out of it, to not come along.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask her because I'm assuming we're walking to Baldur's Gate, right?
Krieg is arranging a wagon.
Okay, so walking.
That's at the blacksmith. So whenever we decide to go there and get the cart wagon thing.
So I ask Raya, is there a reason we're not taking a boat to Baldur's Gate?
She seems a little like pensive and thinks about it, and she's like, "No, I don't know why we're not taking a boat. Come to think of it, I haven't seen the High Observer's boat in port for maybe a 10-day now. He probably wants us to take the road because that way we aren't stuck in Baldur's Gate as long. If we took a boat, we'd get there faster, and I don't think he wants us there any longer than we have to be." Lyra, your perception is good enough that she's that's clearly just a guess of hers. She's sort of just pulling theories out of nowhere.
But we could just hire a boat.
Plot hole.
Well, I mean, the High Observer said to take the wagon.
All right, but that's what we're getting paid to do.
And that's part of the conditioning.
So, yeah. So you said dig site was where you wanted to walk to next?
To the dig site.
Yes.
Cue walking music.
Yeah, you're all right. So, upon reaching the dig site, which as you can see is part of this little, let's call it a canal, is what I think it is, that this water that comes up from the Chiathan River to here, there's a tunnel that is clearly being excavated. There are 3 dwarves standing outside. There, let's see, 2 women and then a younger dwarf who is staring down into the hole, obviously nervous, bouncing back and forth. The cleric notices that all 3 of the dwarves are very openly wearing holy symbols of Moradin, which I guess the fake dwarf also recognizes the holy symbol.
How learned are you?
I am not fake.
Right. Anyway, so who speaks Dwarven?
Do we?
He does, and I assume the dwarf speaks Dwarven, or do you speak Undercommon?
I speak Undercommon. I actually don't have Torvin on my sheet. I am the
That's
fake.
ironic.
So-
wait, hold on. I just want to make sure I got this clear. We got a fake dwarf who speaks Dwarven and a real dwarf who doesn't speak Dwarven. That's what we got going on. All right, this is great.
So you hear, because the oldest of the dwarves is clearly muttering to herself, and she's not trying to be too discreet about it because, again, there aren't a whole lot of dwarves in Elturel, and you distinctly hear something about that pious son of a bitch High Observer's taking his sweet ass time.
Ah,
And it's probably even more vulgar in dwarvish. They see you
Sorry.
approaching, and they recognize
actually a
Rhea,
murder
and
hornet?
you see the dwarf get like a sudden like panicked look on her face, and then she relaxes because she realizes that Rhea has no idea what she just said.
and I'm not going to.
Hello, friends.
Hello, my dwarven brothers and sister.
She looks at you all, looks at Rhea, and then looks at the dwarf. Well, the gray dwarf, and you see for a moment that she's deciding whether or not to make a big deal about the fact that you're a gray dwarf here, and then she just decides to let it slide. But it's definitely that look where maybe if you two meet on a dark street later, she'll make an issue of it. But right now, whatever, she's not going to deal with it. So I take it that you're the help that's supposed to be coming.
Is she speaking common?
She's now speaking in common.
Then yes.
Well, all right then. The problem is down that way. And the problem is that my ninny of a nephew over there opened a cavern without looking in there first.
Wait, did you say open a cavern without looking in there first?
The nephew yells, "Do you understand why she drives me crazy?"
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, so we had expected the High Observer to send someone to come deal with this. We were digging beneath Elturel because not that long ago, you are probably aware of all of the. And then she looks and realizes that not all of you are, as long lived. She's probably 200 to 300 years old at this point. She's like, the Vampire Lord's minions, some of them apparently still work and live under Elturel. And we didn't expect to run into any, but there's some bones down there and they're walking around, and we're not equipped to deal with that. So if you would just go down there, smash them, do whatever it is you do, and then we'll go back to digging carefully this time.
You're dwarves. How do you not have the ability to take care of this problem? Even the basic of dwarves are able to do this.
She looks at her nephew disapprovingly, and she expects that to be enough of a message as to what the problem is.
Can I tell what clan they're from?
No,
Okay.
because the book doesn't tell us.
That's fine. I did expect it to say, but I just wanted to check. I am technically a
Am
clan
I aware
battle
of whether my spells work on undead or not?
So it matters on the spell. Which spell specifically are you asking about?
Pretty much all of my spells are in the realm of like, I make you do blah 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 psychic damage.
So they're going like cutting words should work because you don't have to be able to actually speak to the thing. It just has to understand you, which undead understand things, even if it's a very simple level of understanding, right? Like they understand they want to kill you, and that's enough to communicate.
So my cantrip, they don't need to understand me; they just need to be able to hear.
Right, which, okay, they can hear. So you're probably good, but before you cast a spell, we can double check it so that because you should know the limitations of your spells. Like we'll see as we go.
Do they take less damage to necrotic damage?
They get
Uh,
healed by necrotic damage, don't they?
Not anymore. I believe now most undead just have resistance to it. I think a few of the more powerful undead do have outright immunity.
I'm not using that.
But
Spoken
this
like a
will be
true
down.
cleric.
This will be down in a cave, so you will be out of the sunlight.
True.
Right.
All right, let's get this done then.
Let's do it.
Forget. Do dwarves? Wow. Do halflings have dark vision anymore? They got rid of that a while ago, didn't they?
We do not.
So am I leading?
And I don't
then?
have it either.
I got dark vision.
Yeah, but the cleric should be in the back, I've learned today.
I mean, I have a candle.
Why would the cleric be in the back?
Well, this
can
cleric
watch
has the best
Video.
armor class in the group, so might actually want her in the front.
All right.
But before you go down there, they do sort of sketch out. Here, let me copy your tokens. They sketch out what you're going to be walking into, which let me.
Walking into that cavern over there.
Right, but this is why.
That is
It's so cute.
Did I miss someone? I missed someone's token.
Nah, they're way on the left-hand side. They ended up being booted.
I thought I was on the all the way. So they draw this out for you, and they mention that they broke down the wall that's here, and that's when they noticed all of the skeletons, and they were turned and they were looking at a collapsed wall over here, and they didn't go in any further. And so they're pretty sure that there's some magic animating them, and that right now they don't know what will cause them to actually start doing things, but that's their warning, basically, is that they don't. This is as far as they got, and nothing happened. They don't know what'll happen if you go past that point.
So bash first, ask questions later. Got it.
Ronald, they do have knees.
They do have knees.
Indeed have knees.
Smash my warhammer against my
Hint.
shield.
So I imagine, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, because I know I'm the only one who can move everyone's tokens. Everyone else can only move themselves. I imagine it looks something like that.
It looks about right.
I plan to be in the back.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and do initiative, which where's my initiative tracker?
This may or may not add to initiative when you do it through Beyond 20. I'm not sure. Sometimes it does, sometimes it
should.
doesn't.
I believe you have to make sure you've clicked on your token before you roll.
Yeah, but how do I roll for things that are just floating tokens?
You just add them to the initiative, and then you just manually add the initiative.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think you have to manually do it.
I've lost which tool is the initiative tracker under?
That is a good question. I can't see it because reasons.
Yeah, I'm not logged in under GM. Oh no, my immersion again.
Oh no.
I suddenly remembered I'm just some dude sitting here.
You are a floating head on my screen. That is what you are. While we're waiting on Matt, I would like to take the time to self-gloat that when this all works, it actually looks great. I love the scenes I put together.
I am currently using Jonas's scenes, so if you like see what they actually look like, only slightly modified.
What's sad is
I just realized
Good.
my video is flipped
Yes.
on the stream.
Yeah, because Discord on my side, for whatever reason, has everybody's things flipped. So, like, if I were to put my left hand up, it's actually showing on the left side of my body, even though it's actually on the other. Yeah. It should be on the right side on the screen, but it's not.
Is zero initiative possible?
No, I just hadn't put in their initiative yet.
They rolled themselves out of existence, I guess. I don't know.
Their initiative is 0 right now. They're completely not doing anything.
Did I do something wrong? No, that is they just both got 20s for their initiative. Okay.
I got a whopping 6.
Mine is a 7.
Same here.
Well, I'm glad they got that out of the way before, rolling actual attacks.
Appreciate you getting them out of the way.
All right. So, I believe we determined the only person who can actually see is the tiefling and the dwarf, correct? So,
Correct.
Hi.
let me very quickly, and both of your dark vision is 60 feet, right?
Yes.
Actually, I think I have 180. 120.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm
120.
pretty sure hers is a lot longer.
All right. So I'll turn those auras off that show your dark vision, but how are the rest of you seeing?
Yeah, mine's 60.
My idea was to light a candle before I went in.
Okay, we can do that. You have a lit candle in one hand, or do you mean a torch?
Nope, I have a candle, not a torch.
Now that we have
apparently.
things working.
That makes sense. All right. I believe torches/candles are 30 feet of dim light, or 30 feet of light, and then 30 feet of dim light. So that light blue is, as long as Zemar does not drop his candle, what everyone without dark vision can see.
I've
Yeah.
got a lantern that I
Oh.
can hood. And
So-
it sheds light for a 30-foot, bright light for a 30-foot radius, dim light for an additional 30 feet.
So do you want him to just hold the lantern instead of the candle? Because it just
The lantern is definitely a better.
Yeah. And then I think Jonas was going to ask something.
I was just going to ask if I can duct tape a torch to my shield.
You most assuredly cannot.
Does
Unless
duct tape exist?
One of the many reasons he cannot.
I
Bro.
was,
I could probably hold it. I only need one hand.
Yeah, but you can see.
I know,
was-
but I can still hold it for the party.
I was definitely thinking it in Pathfinder terms and assumed I had dark vision. Otherwise, I would have taken light as one of my cantrips.
Well,
I
I
can
don't
fix
remember
that
the
later.
last time
Yeah.
halflings actually had dark vision.
so conveniently, super fast skeleton does nothing because you haven't angered it. Same with the second set. Let's talk to you about skeletons. So these skeletons, new, not shared journal. So let's get knowledge history checks from people who actually have history. So if you have history or religion, go ahead and make a check.
As in proficient with it.
Correct.
I have a surprisingly few amount of skills considering I am a skill-based class. Or at least
I
previously.
rolled an 8.
We have our cleric has religion.
I was attempting to roll, sorry.
Am I hearing this
Right.
correctly? That our bard has not history nor religion. Just
The
no
warlock
nothing.
has both.
Our bard only has arcana.
Okay. So
Sorry. I need to stop doing that.
unfortunately, those checks don't give you anything extra than what you've seen. Kane, you do recognize on their old, deteriorated, ancient armor that they do have the Elturel coat of arms from back before there was a High Observer. So that gives you an idea of how long these skeletons have been here. Around 50-ish years.
That's really not that long, though, right?
I mean,
In the grand scheme.
yes, like for the dwarf, that's like, oh, that was like not that long ago. That was like, recent memory. Some of you may not live to be 50 years in the halfling community.
These have been down here for at least 50 years, folks.
All right. And Ronald, I believe, well, you or Lyra, you can decide who wants to go first since you both have a 6.
I do not
Well,
have a.
I've got a higher dexterity, so I think I should be going first.
Yeah. I don't have a cane on our initiative order.
Oh, hey.
I see how it is. Then I'm
He would actually go before us. He got a 10 or 7. I don't know. There's 2 rolls there.
Who's the 7?
Either way, better than 6. There we go. I've added you to the turn tracker. All right, so I lied. The bard is first.
So we're just going guns blazing, right?
Well, we don't
Sounds
know
good.
what's going on here, but I am because that's what I do.
Oh, hey, we all forgot something.
They're also just undead skeletons, so I mean,
There's
not
not a lot of gray bone zones.
yeah, not a lot of gray area here.
Yeah, so Rhea is staying outside with the dwarves just in case something goes terribly wrong for you guys, that nothing comes and murders your new dwarf friends.
Ray, if you're wondering why you can't take the creed, it's because you're not down here with us.
Rude.
I guess I'm just gonna cast Vicious Mockery.
On, I assume, that one? All right, let me just double check their saves. Okay.
It is a DC 13 Wisdom.
Well, it saves. Can you see my rolls? Because
Yes.
I know some DMs
Yes.
feel the need to hide rolls like this, and honestly, I don't understand the point. So, yes. So, okay, good. So it does indeed save. Maybe you just weren't insulting enough.
I was just too quiet.
Have a couple cookies, you feel better.
Have a couple cookies, you will feel better.
Have
So
a
that leaves you
Snickers.
with a move and bonus action.
For my bonus action, I will knee smasher, smash some knees, and I'm going to use my bardic inspiration to give him an inspiration die of 1d6.
All right. I'm
I can
going
use
to
that for anything, right?
You can use it for an ability check, attack roll, or saving throw.
So do remember that the inspiration you got from the bakery is different. That lets you, I believe, just give yourself advantage on something. Just whatever you feel is super cinematic, super important, you have to succeed. You could basically just say, I spend inspiration and I have this. The bardic inspiration, I don't know why they used inspiration for 2 different mechanics, is totally different.
I don't know if I roll it or if you do it when you decide.
I
you
would
wanna
roll
use
it when I'm using it.
You roll it.
Yep.
You can save it for when you roll, but not before the result is determined.
Correct. So now that we remember it here, let's
How long does that last? Like, how long do I have it?
10 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Or until you give it to somebody else.
Probably.
No, I think you
Um,
can stack them.
Yeah.
You can have more than one
Yep.
given out.
I have 3 max per rest right now.
There we go. The little shouting, that means that you have bardic inspiration.
And not rage.
Oh. Yeah, you're right. Rage makes more sense. Here, flags mean morale. There we go.
Rally. All right.
So there you go. McNee Smasher. Go.
Well, we're letting Lyra go first. Is it Lyra or Lyra? I'm sorry.
Lyra.
Okay.
Yeah, she's a person, not a coin.
Lyra will take out her short bow and shoot at this one with the short bow.
I didn't see your ping. Why didn't I see your ping? Okay. Okay, there, now I see it. And you are within 30 feet. Oh, okay. Yes, 20 is definitely a hit, and 12 is a significant amount of damage.
The other damage. It's 9 because there's no sneak attack. Or is there a sneak attack? Oh, right.
Yeah, they are totally unaware of your presence until this one is destroyed by that arrow attack. Which
Yeah.
So they are now aware of your existence and will perhaps do terrible things. But yes, there is a sneak attack on that first attack.
Okay. Side note: you're doing like things in group initiative, aren't you?
Yes. Unless there's a ridiculous amount of them.
Okay. And I'm up now, right? Or wait, sorry. Do you have anything else?
No, I do not have my second action yet.
You can also move, and if you have any bonus actions,
True. No, I'm gonna stay here for now.
stay behind the meat wall. I appreciate that.
Exactly.
The meat wall moves forward.
I was about to say, the meat wall's not going to be there for long.
So when I cross the threshold, does anything happen?
No, nope, they've already been activated.
Wonderful, I smash. All right, smashing with Warhammer. I smash. And a 14. I'll wait for you to stop choking.
Sorry, no, that was just, yes, 14 is more than enough to break through their broken, rusty armor.
Wonderful. Here's a Warhammer. Oh, 4 damage.
All right, you have done 8 points of damage to it because they are vulnerable to bludgeoning, as you are well aware. And it is still standing, however.
All right. That's going to be my turn.
All right, which I believe now brings us up to Ariel. Ariel, how do you pronounce that?
Ariel's fine.
All right.
I move forward to help with the smashy smash, but also if I can move my character.
Oh, can you
click
not?
the arrow.
I was on the wrong thing. To help smash.
All right.
And I smash.
Am I the only one who sees Ariel is dancing?
What do you mean is dancing?
Never mind. It's not moving anymore.
An 11, however, is not enough to make a solid connection with this skeleton.
No.
Are we both using Warhammers? Oh, no.
There's a whole lot of bluntness going on here.
Wait, that doesn't look like it actually rolled an attack. That looks like it's just damage.
Yeah, that is just
Yeah. No. Yeah, because now that I mouse over it, I see that it's like not a 1d.
Did I roll the wrong thing? Hold on. How about that one?
I think
Now we
anything.
just. Yeah, I was like,
Wait.
wait for it to process.
That's better.
There we go. 23 is most assuredly a hit.
So you notice how Warhammer is pink?
Yes.
If you click on the word Warhammer, it'll then roll the damage for you.
And
Cool.
that is more than enough to destroy this skeleton. It falls to pieces at your feet, and I don't know. I guess you do like a dwarven jig. What do dwarves do when they kill skeletons?
They drink.
Whatever they want.
Big.
Whatever they want. Excellent answer. You probably don't have any useful bonus actions, but if you do, let us know. Otherwise, the warlock's up.
Take it to the warlock.
Atros, your turn.
Cool. I'm gonna Eldritch Blast this one.
Do you want to move to like here so that you aren't drawing a line through people?
If I have to.
I mean, you don't have to if you want to give it a free like 2 armor class.
Do I still have line here? Do I need to move since technically I guess Ronald's in the way?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, Ronald's. You probably just need to take 1 step forward.
Nah, he's fine.
Yeah.
All
There
right,
we go.
cool. There we go. No one's in blasting radius.
All right. So that is a lot of Eldritch Blast damage for 3 force. And now I need to go back to the token layer. All right, that is indeed a hit, but it is still standing.
Cool. I'm satisfied with my action.
All right. So those go away because they don't exist anymore. There is nothing that needs to happen at the top of the order. These two, being dumb skeletons, are going to shoot at the nearest thing that they see, which is going to be, I believe, it's aerial. So we will roll both of their bow shots.
Does
Which
this
just make
count
sure.
as cover of any kind or no?
It actually counts as partial cover, so it's her armor class +2. So they're hitting at what? They're trying to hit an 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Bing.
Got
Yeah,
some
see, I have a
dwarven
note here.
shield wall at the front.
See, I even have a note here. See where it says waist-high barricades?
Oh,
Oh.
I have a good feeling about this party. Someone write that down for like hour 19 when we're in a bad spot.
Yeah, no, both bow shots miss.
What is it? Clip it. Play it later.
And they're just dumb skeletons, so they have no move. So we pass the turn down to Zemar. And I mean, I can actually pass the turn like that, but I'm not really good at remembering to hit the button. So
I
Here
can
is a-
see these, but not clearly, is what this means, right?
right, but I think your spell doesn't involve an attack roll, so it's fine. But here's a fun fact, a rule that no one remembers. While you can move through friendly spaces, it is difficult terrain to do so.
He's a halfling.
I'm halfling.
Yeah, but it's still an important fact that no one else remembers.
I might need to know that later.
Yeah,
It only
see?
says I'm a halfling.
Right, so you could totally ignore it. But you are now ready to take your action?
Yes, we will. We'll go ahead and. My dog would eat those bones.
And it does. Go ahead and give your 1d4 damage, and we're gonna use brown to mean it has disadvantage on whatever it does next. All right, you psychically mess with the magic holding the skeleton together, but it is still in really good shape. So Lyra is up if you have nothing else to do.
Gotta say, I'm glad we have some with Eldritch Blast here. If I just mock people all the time.
All right, go ahead and be a rogue.
I'm going to move over here,
Alright.
and since it's only waist high, I should just be able to shoot right over the barricade, right?
Correct.
Awesome. I'm gonna shoot at this one.
All right.
Nice.
All right, there is no sneak attack on that one. So you do 5 damage, which let me just double check and make sure they don't resist piercing. Nope, they just have vulnerabilities. Excellent.
My next turn's going to suck.
Which I believe it is your next turn, unless Lyra needs anything else to do.
Can I walk through this part here?
Yeah.
Okay. Then my turn does not suck. The dwarven song on my lips, I charge forward and I smash the knees on the skeleton.
Go ahead. Do some knee smashing.
I do not smash knees.
All right. Well, no knees are smashed, and I
Swing and a
assume,
whiff.
yeah, big whiff. Actually, was it? Yeah, it was a big whiff. So now the real dwarf is here to show you how it's done.
I am a real dwarf. What are you talking about?
Technically, I don't speak Dwarven.
Fired.
You might
I'm more dwarf than she is.
Between the two of you, we've got one dwarf.
Ah, teamwork. I think I'll stay behind my cover and use Sacred Flame on this. Wait, maybe ping this one.
All right. And it's a dexterity or a wisdom save, I forget.
Looks like dexterity.
All right. And
That makes sense.
the DC is 13 or so. It fails, but... Oh, it tells me the DC. But yes, it did indeed fail.
Nah.
So it is... No, it's good that it fails.
Oh, I thought I failed.
No. So it takes 3 radiant damage. Surprisingly, skeletons are not vulnerable to radiant damage, just bludgeoning. So you are now free
Where's
to
my
move
monster?
as you wish.
I move. No, I think I'll be good where I am.
All right.
Goldfish time.
So it is time for Atros to go.
Atros. So are both skeleton? Does only one skeleton have a bow and arrow?
Nope, they both do.
You both do. Oh, okay.
I just used different. I had different.
Oh, okay. I was just prioritizing. So I will jump to here, and I will try to Eldritch Blast the not engaged one.
Sounds great.
Will a 15 hit?
It does indeed. You put another hole through the skeleton, but it is still
Sure.
standing.
Been low and roll on that damage.
Yeah, no. Once
Lord.
you can add your charisma, you're going to be way better.
Yeah. At least it's hitting. I'm happy with that.
So
And I'm done with my move or my action.
sounds good. We have nothing to clean up at the end and nothing special going on at the start. We're going to do the one that's in McNee Smasher's face. It is just going to try and claw you with its little skeletal claws because you're in its face, and it will miss.
Yeah.
And then the other one is going to shoot its bow. I think you're now closer. Yeah, you're way closer. And it will also miss. And you're now all... Oh, yeah, that thing had disadvantage, but it
That
didn't
just
matter.
encourages him.
Yeah, which brings us to Zemar to start the cleanup, I assume.
I'm assuming people cannot shoot over me, right?
No, because you are still a medium size. No, you're small, so you would still give cover, so... Yeah. And it's DC 13, right?
I
was
need
actually
some
thinking about
arrow-
making a joke about that.
baked goods. Yes, DC 13.
Alright, it fails, so let me give it its little disadvantage bubble.
Oh yeah, really pulling my weight here.
You
Hey,
are!
You are. You are support, not damage.
Right, and you're doing a great job. It hasn't hit anyone thanks to you and itself. Anything else that you would like to do?
No.
Alright, that brings us back to Lyra.
I'm going to shoot at the same one.
Gotcha.
The one next to me, right?
Yeah, that's what I assumed by the same one. And that will destroy this skeleton. I guess your arrow just takes it right apart, and where's my X? There's the X.
Nice.
So what would you like to do while I'm finishing putting a big X on it?
I'm going to... I'm just going to stay where I'm at.
I accept this. McNee Smasher, I guess you're up to finish things off, hopefully?
I am here to smash knees and take skulls.
Hey, it's got knees and skulls! Well, just one skull. Not multiple.
Oh, that was great timing.
I still haven't seen what you rolled.
Sorry, I haven't rolled yet. So when I said that, I got a share on Facebook.
Hooray!
Rolling, and we are rolling poorly. I got a 12. I'm going to use my inspiration die.
Okay.
Might as well.
There we are.
All right, an 18 is a surefire hit. So go ahead and smash your skeleton,
7 damage.
which is really 14 damage, and so that's a dead skeleton. So we'll go ahead and we'll
First party victory.
I smash Snee. And I take skull and put it in backpack.
take skull backpack. Gotcha. So where's our loot? Skull.
What loot?
Is there anything else in this room other than these 4 skeletons?
So
Thank you for
going ahead and
guys.
searching through, they are primarily old and beat up. There's really not much use you can find for the armor. It is scrap, but what's a good like general bardic lore check to make, just for things you might know about? Well, you're from Elturel, so let's go ahead and just give you an intelligence check with advantage, just to see if you know things.
That's what I do. I do things and I drink. All the way around.
Not you, Kane.
I mean, I drink. I just don't know things.
I know nothing.
No, with advantage. So
Usually
roll
lose.
again.
There you go.
I know
All
something.
right. So you do know, probably because you've talked with the blacksmith before, that he actually, as a side thing that he enjoys doing, is he enjoys restoring old armor. And so, as far as you know, that since this armor, probably you won't be able to get much from him, but because again, it's not that old, but just the fact that he might want it, it might be worth taking one of the sets that you guys didn't destroy while murdering skeletons to him. You might get something for it, but you're not entirely sure.
We should bring one of these armor sets back to the blacksmith. He likes to restore this kind of stuff. He might give us a little extra cash. You know, he always needs some cash.
What is this
By
cash
cash,
you speak of?
by cash, I mean gold,
There you
like
go.
this. You'll hold in the sack.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we're gonna rethink that real quick.
Don't just yeah. Okay, so
I need to go get another banana so I can seductively eat it again.
no, you most assuredly don't need to do that. The collapsed tunnel is definitely beyond your ability to do anything with at the moment, unless one of you is a super high-level spellcaster that prepared something I was unaware of.
I mean, I have survival. Can I go poke it?
Yes, it's clearly been knocked down for quite some time. So what probably happened, since you can put this together, I assume you already know, but just so anyone who's watching who hasn't put it together, these people were probably trapped here at some point when everything collapsed, and then something turned them into skeletons, where they came back to watch the, looking at how they're positioned, they were watching for whatever was coming from that tunnel, not from behind them. Because, yeah, they're using the cover from that way. So that's what you guys can figure out between your various backgrounds and knowledge.
Are there any
I'm gonna
dwarven
go-
runes that the dwarf can't read that I can read?
No, this is all, anything that would be written here, if it had survived 50 years of being locked up, would all have been written in common.
I was going to go back and call up to the dwarves that we've cleared out the skeletons.
All right, so you've cleared out the skeletons. The 3 dwarves thank you, and we're going to go ahead and give you their names in your little journal there, because I also forgot to give you all of the Pebblehuck names, right?
Matt, can I trouble you? Because you have all of this on a, whatchamacallit, a Google document, right?
Yeah.
Can you send that to me in Hangouts? Because I don't want to break my thing to open it. I don't want to
Sure.
Discord to open it.
Let me grab the last set of names I needed. Because what I should have done is, there we go, Pebblehucks. Oh, did someone beat me to sending it to Frank?
Thank you.
All right. So, the older aunt matron of the dwarves asks if Krieg told you that he was going to pay you.
I want to say he didn't say anything of the sort.
We didn't. We just did this out of the goodness of our dwarven hearts.
She mutters in Dwarven about him being a cheap bastard and takes off like her glove, passes it around to the three, and you get a total of six silver between them is what they're able to round up to pay you.
Woo! Wait,
We-
6
we
silver
made-
a piece or all together?
As a total loot, that is all that they're carrying on them.
Hey, the 6 gold is still a lot.
No,
That
no,
was not gold.
silver.
Oh. Hmm.
I mean, that pays for the baked goods.
Yeah, true.
I mean, technically, I paid for most of those.
I threw in a silver.
So you should get 3. He gets 1.
You did. It's true.
I don't need my silver.
All right, so
I'll
let
forget
me
it.
show you the map again because I think it went away, right? Alterel key, there it is.
It's in the journal. We can pull it up whenever we want.
All right, so go ahead, and where else would you like to go? And you're also able to just, like, I guess if you wanted to just leave and start walking without all of the stuff you were supposed to do, but maybe not. Maybe you don't want to do that.
I feel like we're looking around some really old armor. You should just take it to the blacksmith.
Yeah.
Get it
I'll
off
take
our
care of
hands.
that.
All right, we're just going to start. Let me see. What? Give me an order for you guys. This is just. I can either do it in alphabetical order because that's easy, or if you want to do it in another order. This is just when I need random things rolled. We're just going to go down the order so that, like, if good or bad things happen, it's like your guys' fault, not mine. So we're just going to do alphabetical by character name, okay?
Makes it easier.
So Atros, that is up to you to, just roll a d20 and we'll see basically what happens on your way to the blacksmith. Besides Rhea bugging you to tell her all about the fight.
Got a 14.
14. All right. So you do have a random encounter, but don't worry, it's not like a wild random encounter where like there's griffins or things that just attack you.
A wild Lucentile just appeared.
No. So you're approached on the street by a young girl. She is, when I say young, like 6 to 7 years old. She's dirty. Her clothes are torn. And Ray immediately like steps out ahead of you to like kneel down and, ask what's going on. And the girl shies away from Rhea and looks to the rest of you and asks if you're from Elturel.
I am.
Excellent. She just sort of walks around Rhea, who seems clearly hurt by this, and
Why does no one like Rhea?
she asks if you have any money.
Yes, I do.
She looks around to make sure no one's watching, and then from out of her pocket, she produces a dirty rat and says she'll let you pet her lucky rat for just 1 copper.
That looks like good eating right there.
I mean, it's
Okay.
lucky.
It's true. And it is an adorable little girl who is taller than me. She's taller than me, isn't she?
She's probably about your height because she's only like 6 or 7 years old. I don't know how fast kids grow, guys.
I pull out a copper and I pet her little rat. I give it to her.
Thank you. My name is Shora Hevron, and I am the preeminent guide of Elturel. And my rat, she looks at Rhea and then whispers, I named him Krieg, and I are at your service whenever you might need. She waves goodbye and starts running down the street. Rhea says, what an adorable kid. She clearly did not hear a word that kid said.
That's outstanding.
Krieg.
So, the rest of the way to the blacksmith.
What's that adorable little girl's name?
Oh, that's right. I should give you that.
Shura?
You just told me.
Yeah, but I already scrolled away from it. Shura Hevron, which I'll just post it in with this. Oh, you. Nope, with a U. And Krieg the Rat. Alright, now let me scroll around. What I needed to do is what I should have done is I should have created this as a PDF or a Word document that had because I created like internal links and stuff so I could click around, but I can't pull that off on the side in a Google Doc. Lesson for next time. So, when you get to the blacksmith, outside are two large chestnut draft horses who Rhea immediately introduces you to as the Sure Thing and Torm's Thunder. She sighs at the names and she can say, you can guess which one Krieg's, she calls him the High Observer. You can guess which one the High Observer saved from a gambling den and which one is the son of his old war horse. She says she'll take care of the horses and hitch them up to the wagon while you go deal with the blacksmith.
Excellent. Let's head in.
All right. Inside, you can see immediately that this is not your average blacksmith. His shop has been sort of cordoned off from the work area, so you can feel the heat from the forge back there and you can like crane your neck around and look back there. But this guy is clearly significantly more educated than you would imagine a regular blacksmith. He's actually got like books along the wall. He's got along the ceiling, not the ceiling, but above where the actual goods are displayed, he does have armor of Elturel going back about 300 years there, and they've been carefully restored, and under each one there's a little note, estimated year. A few of them mention like worn by the Hell Rider so and so. There is one that is the High Observer's battle armor, which is he hasn't restored. He's left it there beat up. You can see where there are like devil claw marks and scorch marks. So he's clearly, invested in this. And he is working in the forge and calls out, I'll be right with you. And when he comes out, he's dusting off his hands. And since he doesn't really recognize any of you, asks if there's anything you are specifically looking for.
I motion someone who actually can lift armor to pull out the armor for our friend.
I pull
Now
it
with the
out.
weak arm.
Okay. He whistles as he looks at it, and he gives it a quick once over, and he's like, all right, so I've got a couple of examples of these, but there's always room for more. My shipment hasn't come in, so I can maybe spare 10 gold. I can spare 10 gold out of everything before the next shipment comes in.
10 gold sounds like it's probably a good deal, but could you go as high as 15?
He goes around. He sort of disappears. You hear him like pry open his where his floorboards are. You hear him like counting coins, and he goes, literally can only go as high as 12.
I shake on it.
All right. He hands you over the 12 gold.
Pawn stars, everyone.
Goes ahead and says, so what are you guys doing here in Elturel? I doubt you just came here to sell some armor.
We're taking that wagon, escorting Rhea to Baldur's Gate.
You're going to Baldur's Gate. He signs your receipt and he hands it to you. He's very clearly like very officious about all of his business dealings. So you now have a receipt with his signature on it. What's his name again? Orin Ragron. And then he says, so, are you looking for work in Baldur's Gate, or are you just there for whatever it is you do?
Just adventurer things.
Oh, excellent. Exactly the sort of people I'm looking for. Krieg, the High Observer, He looks really quickly to make sure none of you are wearing Hellrider accoutrements, and seeing that none of you are, he relaxes a little. The High Observer doesn't like us doing business with Baldur's Gate, but with the Grand Duke from Baldur's Gate here, I think that might be letting up soon. So want to get my foot in the door. Old Hellrider companion of mine, well, not of mine, but never served. Anyway, works at a place called the Companion Scabbard, his own little shop set up down in Baldur's Gate. Think he said it's in the lower city. He's trying to save up. Got a shipment of silver weapons that I've arranged to come from him. Just need someone to get there and let him know the deal's still on. You give it to him, give you 5% cut of whatever he delivers. It'll probably come out to maybe about 20, 25 gold. Not sure. He hasn't told me what he's got. Silvered weapons, though, which you can imagine the Hellriders really like to get their hands on.
And what was the name of the establishment?
Oh, the Companion Scabbard. Guy runs it, ex-Hellrider, named Indar Lokmine. I think he's a half-elf. Didn't really ask. Ears looked a little weird, but thought it would be rude to ask. Think he's a half-elf.
Mentally taking note of this.
I'm literally taking it. That sounds like the kind of thing that I would be interested in doing, because nothing says money like silver weapons. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what I'm saying. I know nothing about mercantilism, but
Excellent. He ruffles through some of his books, pulls out one, checks, makes a copy of the purchase order, signs it, gives it to you, and says, just show this to Indar, and he'll know it's from me. He'll hook you up with what you need. Then you bring it back here whenever you're done in your business in Baldur's Gate, and we're all going to make some money.
Wonderful.
that's what I like to hear.
And I guess while you're here, if you're going to be setting out, I know the High Observer usually equips his folks well, but if you need to buy anything, this is the best shop in El Terrell.
That's a good point.
Right, so now that you've all collected some gold, take a quick look over your inventory, make sure that there's nothing you need to buy, or that you want to buy, and this is your chance to sort of stock up on anything before you leave El Terrell on the road to Baldur's Gate.
I have a unrelated question to Armin. For our trip out, did we determine that they are providing us with food and water and all that fun stuff, or do I need to stock up on rations?
Krieg did say he was going to make sure that the wagon had about a month's worth of supplies, which is what he thinks it'll take you about 10 days to Baldur's Gate, 10 days back. You should stay there about 10 days. So if it runs longer, you might need stuff, but the wagon will be stocked for about a month.
3 by boat.
Considering what a loot is and the fact that I'm a caster, do I need a hand on the loot to actually do my casting, or do I just need to have it on me?
You actually need to. It uses a hand. It is your arcane focus.
Let's see here. 1 second. I definitely want to buy a ranged weapon of some sort. I'm not sure. I'm just looking at which one I want.
I thought I had 2 light hammers. Apparently I don't. I had another one.
I guess the first question should actually be, what ranged weapons can you use?
Temple and hand crossbows.
So it should be one of them.
Yes, one of those.
What about the rest of you three? Anything that you need to buy while you're here?
Better armor, but it's probably too pricey for me right now.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I should get some
A
studded
dwarf
leather
needs
armor.
You call yourself a frontliner.
Don't you have armor?
He does
No.
not.
No, he doesn't. He is basically loincloth.
He does
I
have a shield.
I have a shield, but other than that, I just take the hits.
Yeah, barbarians can eventually wear hides, but that's kind of like it.
So, yeah. My armor class is completely around my dexterity and constitution.
Do you have any hand crossbows on hand?
He does, because he and his carpenter friend keep each other's stuff in stock for just this specific occasion, so that you don't have to go find someone who does work with wood. So he can sell that to you.
I don't know, probably like 25 bolts.
Yeah, no, that's more than what he's got taken care of.
How much is that?
I don't know. What does the book say?
I do speak Dwarvish. I do.
I expect this outburst in the middle of this negotiation. All of a sudden from the other side of the shop.
I
do
suddenly
speak-
remember.
Good sir, I know what I just said, but I definitely cannot afford a hand crossbow.
How much was the hand crossbow? I'm sorry.
75.
Oh.
Yeah, they're super expensive because they're like offhand ranged weapons and let you do nonsense with your action economy.
Can you not use any other kind of crossbow?
I mean,
I
I can,
am
but then I have no hand.
I am just a simple hermit, so I crave power more than money, so I would be willing to throw some gold your way.
Actually, yeah, because if you just threw all 50 of your gold at him, he would have enough.
I love that you've sold your soul a second time, and you're like, the 50 gold I got for it, don't need it.
Basically, I don't foresee buying anything.
I look forward to when we're doing magic item shopping.
I look at you and I say, I have enough debt on my hands already, but I thank you for the offer.
Fair enough.
All right, so everyone's stocked up on what they need.
Um,
I'm gonna get like a regular crossbow instead, but I'll just like take it out of my stuff,
Okay.
so we don't
do you
need
think
to
it would
sit
be
here.
worth it for me to get a chain shirt?
It's more armor class. Everyone loves more armor class.
Also, can
it
you
won't
afford
affect
it?
I can. It won't affect my dexterity, right?
And it doesn't give you disadvantage on things, right?
It doesn't say it does.
Okay, then that's good.
So I think I will buy a chain shirt.
Which boosts your armor class to what now? 15, 16?
It's armor class 13, which would bring it's at 16.
All right, I've updated your token.
I would like to try to negotiate with the blacksmith.
The prices are what the prices are. Like, that's just... He can't really go much lower because, as you've seen, he throws money around at silly trinkets.
Would he take my leather armor in exchange to lower the price?
He doesn't really work with leather, so he couldn't change it, right? Like, he couldn't really resell it. It would just be a pile of leather sitting somewhere, so he's really unable to make a deal like that.
Okay.
But what he does say is that if you bring those silver weapons back, he'll let you have first cut 10% discount.
Real quick, what kind of armor were you trying to get?
Chainmail?
Chainmail or a chain shirt?
Chain shirt.
Yeah, chain shirt.
You would be better off with studded leather.
Oh yeah, chain shirt's medium.
Studded leather is a lot more expensive.
It's 5 gold less.
Oh.
That's weird.
So chainmail
No,
is
the-
heavy, which is 75. Chain shirt is 50, and studded leather is 45.
The chain shirt is medium,
Yes.
and it's armor class 13.
Right, but
you
it
can
also
only-
maxes your dex at 2.
What?
The max dex mod is only 2.
So your AC would be 15.
With the studded leather.
No, with chain shirt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're with your dexterity, you will never need anything better than studded leather.
Okay.
Yeah, so that saves you some gold, knocks off some weight as well. And that should leave you at 15 armor class now. All right. Anything else before we ask where you're going next?
Nope, nothing from me.
All good.
I don't see the prices, but how much is like plate mail?
1,500 gold.
Yeah, I thought so.
One day, maybe today.
Maybe today, but probably not today.
So, since we're at the tutorial stage right now, so if you're on your character on D&D Beyond and you go to equipment, and I'm pretty sure if you're doing manage equipment, you search for what you want, that should have pricing on everything.
Oh.
Good to know.
All right. Oh, I guess you're still looking at that. Never mind. I need to stop rushing people.
No, I'm good.
I say that we grab the wagon and head over to the to what's his face over at the.
What was the companion's table again?
That's where you're going to go to stock up the wagon with all of the rations that Krieg has prearranged for you.
Gotcha.
So it's important if you want food.
We have food.
And he's stocking the food for us.
Yeah, but that's the place that's going to do all of the stocking.
Okay, and then the High Hall / Grand Cemetery. I'm assuming that's where we came from, right?
You came from there, but Rhea also wants to go meet with Gideon Lightward because he's just someone she wants to go meet with before she leaves. Because there are some people who like Rhea.
They're pretty much right next to each other, so we can do both at the same
Yeah.
time.
Let's stop there and then we'll finish up what we need to do and head on out.
And there is, you mean the High Hall Grand Cemetery?
Yeah.
All right. I believe next on our list of random rolls is Ariel.
Hey.
Going from point A. A nice quiet trip where Rhea just tells you a little bit of the history of Elturel, which you've probably all heard, but if you don't stop her, she's just going to keep talking.
I better
just
keep talking.
chime in to correct her every once in a while.
That actually doesn't seem to bother her. She's like, oh, I guess that's true. Or, oh, I heard it differently, but, you're probably right. I'll do some more reading when we get back. So you get to the High Hall Grand Cemetery. This is exactly what it sounds like. It's a wide open area. It's a very revered place in Elturel. All of the various ways of putting people to rest have various different holy symbols of the good and neutral gods. It doesn't take too much to see that there's not a single, unlike in some cities like Baldur's Gate, where there are evil gods kind of openly worshipped in some areas, not in Elturel. That nonsense does not fly here. When you get there, near the center is a large monument. It's maybe a good 10, 15 feet high, carved with names up and down. And standing there is a tall man with, do I have art of him that isn't part of splash art and filled with other stuff, which is one of the biggest issues we have with most of this.
If he has a token, we have a picture of him.
Player handouts. Let me see. Yeah, no, they do just. No, there's too much stuff in the background. But he's basically a tall tall man. He's probably, I don't know, looks early 40s, long black hair. He's wearing holy symbol of Lathander, making sure I'm pronouncing that right. He's not wearing any of his ornamental or even practical armor. He's clearly in the city, relaxing as much as he does. He does not notice your wagon at all. He's staring at the monument, occasionally cocking his head and pacing around it. This is one time where Rhea actually hangs back, kind of curious and watching. And so what do you guys do?
I take my skull out and place it.
It's 10 to 15 feet high, like the big monument that he's walking around.
Okay, I place it around it. Whatever. Close
You're going
as
to
I
have
can
to
get
toss it.
Do you need a boost there, buddy?
Someone throw the dwarf.
So he actually doesn't even notice you approach and do that. He is like pacing around. Anyone else need to do anything?
Do I recognize this man?
Now that you see him, it takes a moment for you to recognize him because he's not dressed like you would imagine one of the few, high command of the Hell Riders that stays in Elturel to be dressed. So it's, like whenever you would like catch your teacher at the grocery store when you were a kid, it's kind of that feeling for you where this isn't a place you expect to find him. And so you do recognize him, but it's disconcerting to see him here.
So the armor of the skeletons, that was part of the Elturel forces, not the counter forces, right?
Correct.
So I walk up to him and say, I like tap him on the knee.
When you tap him, he jumps like a good 2 feet in the air and spins around and almost falls. And he's like, oh, there are other people here. I'm
sorry.
He cocks his head. I'm so sorry. Yes. Oh,
I just wanted to tell you because it looks like you're deep in thought about some. This is the not a character. This is the monument to the dead, right?
This is specifically, since again you live here and you've heard this story all your life. These are the names of the families that went on the Hell Ride. Which, since this is an excellent time to tell you about the Hell Ride, many years ago, even as far as dwarves are concerned, many years ago, the people of Elturel were visited by a celestial being who essentially said, you know what? We're tired of the Blood War. Who knows what the Blood War is before we go any further? Excellent. The Blood War is in hell. Devils, which are lawful creatures who are evil, and demons, which are pure chaos and evil, basically just fight in hell over and over since time immemorial. So this celestial being came down to Elturel and basically said, hey guys, let's go down there and let's just kill all the devils and demons. And that became known as the Hell Ride. And this monument is for all of the Hell Riders who never returned from the Hell Ride.
Gotcha. I just say I don't mind to interrupt, but I noticed that you're a part of the Elturel, whatever it is. I just want to let you know at that Dwarven dig site, there's 4 Elturel citizens who must have fought in conflict. Their remains are down there, and I thought you might want to go get them. That skull there is one of theirs. If you thought we would bring it to the cemetery, apparently.
He sees the skull, and it sort of clicks, and he's like, oh, yes, that's why Lathander had me send the report to the High Observer. It was Lathander. Yes, it was Lathander.
I say, just want to let you know, and I go back to the rest of the group.
Now that Rhea has seen this, she runs up, kneels in front of him, and says, Master Lightward, I'm here to say my farewells. I have an urgent quest to Baldur's Gate. He kind of looks at her and then looks at all of you, continues, shakes his head. Are you friends of Rhea? He pats her on the head as he sort of walks around her.
Oh, totally. We've been bonding.
Excellent.
Quotes around bonding.
Do you know that? And Rhea looks obviously embarrassed because this is like the crazy uncle about to go into an embarrassing story. As he walks over to the monument, he starts using his magic to highlight some of the names. The Mantlemorns were blessed in that they did have a descendant that survived the Hell Ride, and now we're blessed with her in our midst. Other families never returned from that heroic ride. Look, some of them, like the Kindle Halls, their family line was extinguished entirely. He turns back and, kneels down to help Rhea stand up. And this woman is going to join us in the Hell Riders. Today, in fact, she clearly looks at her feet embarrassed and is sort of looking at you guys to take care of this for her.
Hey, with the way that she handled those undead back there, she ain't going to be doing much of anything.
Man.
I say, I apologize for interrupting your musings. We're pretty busy. We're trying to get out of town before too much longer because we want to get out of here before it gets too dark. But just want to let you know about those bodies, and we'll be on our way.
Before it gets too dark.
Are you also? Were you also newly admitted into the Hell Riders with Lieutenant Mantlemorn today?
Oh, definitely not. I'm just a simple bard out doing my bardic duties throughout the world, spreading good cheer and libations and all those great things.
Seeing that no one is going to help her out of this incredibly awkward situation, Rhea's patience has apparently given up, and she sort of stamps her foot and folds her arms and says, "The High Observer won't let me take the creed." Gideon looks to all of
skeleton.
Gideon looks to all of you and is like, "Is this true?"
Yeah, he was pretty adamant.
I mean, I kind of agree with him from what I've seen so far. So
That was my observation as well.
Gideon sort of nods and he says, we understand your concerns, but she was born into this right, and she should be able. That's true. As the reigning high priest of Lathander, the Morning Light. He turns to you all. If you'll stand witness, I will issue the creed to Rhea Mantlemorn. She looks at you. She's
Sure.
I'm not part of it, so I can't be a witness. So I'm sorry.
I'll do it.
yeah.
I will witness.
She seems a little nervous. She asks you all, "Are you sure this is okay? I mean, I thought the High Observer was going to swear me in, and it would be like a coming of age story."
I don't know the customs here, but I don't think you're ready for this. I pick my skeleton back up and I start treating it like a puppet.
That is actually what makes her turn around, and she says, "No, I am ready. Whatever this man says, I am ready."
Yeah, let's do it.
Gideon Lightward has her kneel again, takes her sword, goes through a very ornate ritual, which should probably seem very odd to the two of you who just signed a sheet of paper. And he, taps her on the shoulder, makes her repeat a prayer to Lathander to swear veneration of the companion into, the whole creed resolute, and then hands her back her sword. And he turns to you all once again, and for a moment he seems almost like sad, and he's like, "I'll smooth everything over with the High Observer. Just you should get going while the going's good, because he will not be happy."
Man, clerics, am I right?
I mean, was this even official?
Rhea says, "It was the most official. There was an oath. I swore. It's as official as it gets."
Yeah, that was
And
like the high priest, right?
the high priest of Lathander. So
Yeah.
he actually like goes into
Wow.
he goes in, like searches his pockets. He pulls out an old like dirty badge of the Hell Riders, and he like gives it to her and is like, "Wear this proudly, Lieutenant Mantlemorn." And she does so. She pins it right on, and it is like her birthday. It is the happiest moment you've seen her all day.
I'm glad you're happy.
This clearly won't bite us in the ass later.
Yeah, apparently. I have a unrelated comment out of all of this. I just realized that on Discord, the two bald guys are.
It's different for me.
Yeah, different for me.
Different for me.
Ooh.
Because I'm the oddball here.
Works for me.
And the cue ball. Aha!
Got him.
Let's continue on our way.
Yes, no, Rhea says yes, we shouldn't interrupt this holy man from his work any longer. Alright, so if I recall, next on our alphabetical list of, because there's only one place I can think of you're going next, which is pretty much right next door, right? So to the companion's table. So go ahead, Lyra, roll our D20 of random nonsense. 10.
And we get
So
bugged.
you're not going that far. So you actually, yes, you're not going far enough for that to cause any issues. So while you guys go inside, Rhea says that she'll go around back and start helping to load the wagon. So you are free to do as you please. It'll take her a little bit, so she says, relax before we head out.
Define a little bit.
Well, I have to load a month's worth of supplies. Then I have to pay the grandma here. So you've got maybe an hour or so.
And there was nothing else we needed to do?
I am not tracking anything else. Let me go to your shared journal real fast.
I feel like we
It's almost like we did this in the wrong order.
Yeah, no. Rhea saw Gideon Lightward, so that gets marked as done. So yeah, no. This is your last stop.
Could
say,
Can you?
Can I just help? I guess load a wagon and show off
Yeah.
the fact that I'm stronger than everyone here.
You sure can.
I will happily play the music to make the loading of the wagon more enjoyable.
All right.
I'll also help to make it faster.
All right.
I am helping.
As will Lyra.
Everyone moves faster with music. It'll be nice. It'll be a nice upbeat tune.
Okay. No. So while you're playing music out there, Atros, are you helping load, or are you just watching?
I'm just watching.
All right. So with the music playing, after about like 20 minutes, coming out of the companion's table, who here is well-traveled, would you say? I think Lyra's fairly well-traveled. The dwarf is pretty well-traveled. Not Kane. So the dwarf, and Lyra probably immediately recognize there are 4 people coming out of the companion's table, and the 3 of you, maybe Atros, but it's pretty obvious. These folks are clearly from Baldur's Gate because they are dressed in the uniform of the Flaming Fist. Who does not know what the Flaming Fist are? I meant out of... okay. The Flaming Fist are essentially, and Frank can correct me if I oversimplify this, the private mercenary / public defense force of Baldur's Gate and the surrounding area, and they are known jerks. Like, they're pretty much known for being corrupt, but again, they are from Baldur's Gate, so that kind of is, you sort of accept that from anything that's in Baldur's Gate. Unlike, for those of you who are familiar with the Flaming Fist, unlike most of the Flaming Fist you've ever interacted with, these 4, you've got 2 humans, two humans and a dwarf, and then a young halfling woman who the two humans are like carrying on their shoulders out. Their uniforms are well pressed, clean, which is interesting. Their weapons are actually peace tied in the city, which is something you're not used to seeing. And most importantly, they actually seem happy, something you've never seen with the Flaming Fist that you've interacted with. And they are coming out to listen to Kane's music, and one of them is like looking for a place to throw money.
Kane is.
I'm sure if he has anything to have money in, he throws it to the ground. Maybe.
I'll take his hat, which I'm assuming he has one. All bards have a hat,
Yeah.
and I'll put it on the ground.
All right. So between the four of them, the dwarf is the one who rounds up their money and tosses in 2 silver. So one of the humans who finally puts down the halfling who they were carrying and asks if you guys need any help.
Or are we still loading the cart?
Yeah,
That
you've got
good
another-
music that came on at that exact moment. There's a lot
Yeah,
of
you've
good
got-
timing to that.
You've got another like probably 30 or 40 minutes of loading a cart. Maybe closer to 20, but you've still got a ways to go.
Tell them, yeah, we're just loading our cart. If you would like to help throw up a few items, sure.
The human like pushes the halfling and is like the halfling in their group like, come on, we're gonna go load the cart. Remember what the Grand Duke said: play nice, make them like us. One of them is the dwarf asks if you know any dwarf songs, Kane.
There are dwarves in Elturel, right?
There's a few, yeah.
I'm sure I would have learned some.
All right, like he's like he pulls out like a little pipe and is like, you start and I'll follow. And so those two are playing music. The halfling is less helping and more being carried around on the boxes that the other two Flaming Fist are helping you load. Not you. They're halfling friend.
I don't want to interrupt, but did I hear that I got a tip?
You got a tip. It's been added to the loot list.
Nice.
And so they ask if you have happened to see another member of their group, gnome, a little bit of a dandy, but he's a nice guy. Another Flaming Fist.
No, I don't believe so.
No, but you have advantage because you have help. Because the dwarf is helping you.
I?
No, the Flaming Fist dwarf.
There you go. Much better.
There you go. Between the two of you, you are playing an excellent dwarven, I guess, work song. I don't know what dwarves sing.
Can you play the ballad of...
What do you
Hi ho, it's off to work we go.
Oh, the stream just got shut down. Disney caught us.
That's
Don't joke about that.
All right. They mention that they're actually kind of glad to be here in Elturel because Baldur's Gate they mentioned was getting a little rough, and they hope that's not the way you're heading.
It totally is, sir.
Well
It'll be
then.
fine.
If you can, try and avoid some of the people in the Flaming Fist that are still left over there. What was Edric's commander's name? There's some back and forth where a bunch of different names are being shouted around, and then finally the halfling on the box stands up and says, "Zaj. His name was Darmin Zaj, and he's an asshole."
We'll take your word for it.
None of the other Flaming Fists seem to disagree. That once they're done helping you load, they say, take care, and they're gonna go try and track down the Grand Duke because he was supposed to meet them for drinks and he still hasn't arrived.
Well, Well, we haven't seen him, so he can't really help you.
They sort of look around and they're like, he's probably still at the High Hall. Elturians are big on process and ceremony. Like, the greeting ceremony when he got here, it was like 30 minutes of he and the leader here, the High Observer, just ornate, ornate. It's just not like Baldur's Gate. You show up in town, maybe we give you a black eye, you come on in, it's great. Very simple. Love Baldur's Gate.
I look forward to smashing.
I'm oddly intrigued by that description.
I briefly give them the rundown on where all the taverns are, so that I can help. At least I can help them find him that way. Because let's be honest, clearly he's gonna be in a tavern.
The two humans kind of laugh and nod, like, yeah, no, that's the Grand Duke, all right. Hey, thank you guys for your time. Wish you good luck, and then finally the halfling, who seems to be the one who's actually kind of in charge, stops and says, "Why aren't you taking a boat?"
That's the million gold question.
She seems to be thinking for a second, and then she says, "Yeah, the High Observer told us to just take the road too. I don't know, maybe he hates boats."
The plot thickens.
3-day
Take
trip
note.
by
I
boat.
observe hatred of water.
Maybe he knows something about pirates.
I actually played a character once that was actually afraid of water, so that would have been perfect for this situation.
Well,
no boats, no sir.
it's not like an ocean, it's literally a river, so there are probably not river pirates. There might be. Frank, are there river pirates? He's a
There
Forgotten
are-
Realms person.
Yeah, no. So if we were to take the river, the only thing we would have to worry about is potentially crashing into the occasional rock. Like, the river is the quickest way to get there, which is why it's weird that he didn't suggest taking the river.
Suspecting an ambush now.
I
I
smell
know.
plot.
I just smash knees and take skulls.
All right.
Fair enough. But so did we finish loading the cart with them? With their help?
You have Rhea, who is taking final inventory. Let me make sure. Gives you a bag of coins, which Lyra, again, you're our only one with higher than like 12 passive in perception. No, I guess Atros and Ariel would notice this too. The money that she's giving you is from like a really like rough coin purse. All of the money that Krieg gave you guys was very like fancy wrapped up. So it's very clear that what she's doing is she's giving you her own money. And she says, could you guys go in and pay Grandmother Hunt for us, for the High Observer, for me?
Do you have a problem with this lady?
No, it's just, whenever I go in there, she tells me the story about when she and the High Observer were hunting werewolves outside of El Terrell. She takes down her longbow, shows me all of her silver arrows, and I've heard the story a lot, and she's really nice, and I don't want to be mean and tell her we're in a hurry, so could you do it for me?
Sure.
We're totally listening to that story.
So, are all of you just going in just as a nice little group?
I'm going.
Are we
There's a store
done
here.
loading?
Yep, you're done loading. You arrive in a busy tavern, clean and presentable. It oozes in light and warmth, even on the inside. This is El Terrell, so on the outside especially. The roaring fires are kept stoked inside. Who knows why? They just are. Several members of the El Terrell Watch are in here. You notice that there's none of the Hell Riders or clergy are around. It's mainly working people. At the front of the tavern is an old woman. She's leaning on the bar, and she's talking to two small toddlers who are balanced precariously on the bar. She sees you come in. She nods at you. Kane, you of course immediately recognize this woman as Grandmother Hunt. That is, as Rhea was telling you, she like Gideon Lightward and Thavius Krieg is one of the old heroes of El Terrell who everyone respects for driving off the vampire and his forces. So she also recognizes you and gives you, a warm wave. You've probably played here plenty of times, and so she's, seeing that you're in here with friends, she doesn't immediately bother you and goes back to talking to the toddlers.
Sorry, I was the nation page, so I had a sound overlaid over itself for a little bit, so I kind of missed the beginning. Have we paid?
No. She, since again none of you are like wearing like big like Hellrider badges, she just thinks you're here because it's the tavern and that's what you people do.
Howdy. I was just looking to settle up accounts for the expedition out there.
Oh, so are you going with Rhea? That's good. Girl her age needs friends. Friends that aren't all old like me.
Yeah, totally understand that. Everyone needs friends. And I pull out the bag and hand it on over.
She takes it. She counts it out and then gives you back the change. There's about 2 gold and change in there. Let's see. So
Am I alone?
I don't know. I think did the rest of the group come with you?
I believe we did.
Yeah.
We're all just standing there awkwardly behind him.
I don't.
We're just all following this halfling around.
Yeah. Well, he's the charismatic. Well, no, you've got a warlock. The warlock's charismatic too.
I use charisma for hurting things.
True.
Oh, technically, CC.
well.
He hurts their feelings.
Good point.
Intimidation is a thing.
It is a thing, yeah.
I have intimidation. I think I have a -1 to it.
No. So, those of you who have come in, you notice that there is indeed above the fireplace a very ornate longbow, and there are 5 silvered arrows sort of lined up along the mantle, like carefully. Like it's very clearly like, like when people come home from war, they like hang up their weapon, and that is clearly up there, and no one really pays much attention to it, but you've already heard the story. Yeah, she says, if you're going to Baldur's Gate with Rhea, could I ask you to just do me a small favor?
What's the favor?
So, my granddaughter, Harkina, went to Baldur's Gate trying to find her fortune. These are her little boys here. And so I just have a letter letting her know that everything's fine, and well, the only people who come through here to going to Baldur's Gate aren't the most trustworthy. I was going to give it to the Duke, but I don't think he would meet with someone of my station. And so, if you're going there, would you please just take a letter to my granddaughter just to let her know that everything here is going fine?
Do you also want me to tell your granddaughter that she should come back and take care of her kids?
Oh, we've had that discussion many times, and
I can be pretty persuasive.
Man, the bard going for the jugular.
She like looks up at the bow and arrow and she's like, no, I think it's just in the blood. Sometimes you just need to go out into the world before you're ready to come back. But thank you for caring.
I thank her for her time and tell her that I'll be back to play sometime and go on my merry way.
And be very careful. The Duke's men were in here, and they were talking about something going on in Baldur's Gate before they left. She like looks around and like lowers her voice as if like what she's about to say is startling, but you know enough about Baldur's Gate that this doesn't shock you. They say that the Cult of the Dead 3 is rising again. Who does not know what the Cult of the Dead 3 is? Frank, don't lie to me.
I actually don't.
So the dead three are what are these three ancient, now dead gods are called. Specifically, Bane, Baal, and Merkel. Basically, evil gods. Frank can correct me on this because I'm going off of my head. I believe Baal is the god of murder. Merkel is like also kind of murder, but more like creepy murder, not just murder because they like to murder. And then Bane is kind of a god of tyrants, who also, bonus, likes murder.
I'm sensing a theme.
Yeah.
Yeah. If anyone who's trained in religion wants to make a religion check, I can give you more detailed information.
Boy, wouldn't that be great?
Let's see what we get.
Not a great roll, that's what you get.
Nice.
Hey, there we go. Thank you.
The cleric.
Someone roll better, please.
So the cleric, who knows a lot, will just give you the basics as we just remember you know a lot about this cult, and so as we get there and you might have more questions. Again, they were evil adventurers who became gods because that's how things happen in the Forgotten Realms. Yes, Bane is a god of tyranny, enjoys ruling over people, enjoys torture, as well as murder. Why am I doing that when I have...
Well, it's good to diversify your hobbies.
Yeah, I'm stealing your computer for a second.
Okie doke.
So, they have been an issue in Baldur's Gate before, most famously because of the Baal cultists are probably the most well-known, because every now and then there are rumors that Baal is reincarnated, sometimes just in some random person, sometimes in a politician that's popular in Baldur's Gate. Sometimes that improves their popularity because Baldur's Gate is a weird place. And then Merkel, I finally do have that page, if you'll just let me zoom in more. Merkel, okay, Lord of Bones, and you get those bones through murder. So yes, evil, they like to murder, and they've been a problem in Baldur's Gate for forever. They're called the Dead Three because, again, they're gods who were killed, but their evil influence still lingers.
Let me know when you're the acceptable color of not pink. Because I can't tell from my side. You're pixelated.
Thanks for the tip. And I turn around and I walk out.
Sorry, I missed that last bit. What was the tip?
Just the information about the cult becoming more active.
The various really mean cults in Baldur's Gate.
The evil murder cults, basically.
Yeah, light stuff.
All right, you're back in control.
Just normal things.
Oh, Baldur's.
All right. So I believe that covers everything you were told to do. Rhea says thank you for taking care of that for her, and she gets on the wagon and is waiting for you guys to hop on board.
Is there I hop on board.
You hop on board. Do you mention anything to her?
It's a good question. Yes. There was a little bit of change. Do you need any of that?
Oh, if there is, I would love to have some spending money for when I get to Baldur's Gate.
What are you going to spend it on?
I don't know. What can you buy in Baldur's Gate?
See, that
Yes.
makes me a little nervous. Can I trust you with this money?
I mean, it was my money to begin with, wasn't it? No, you're probably right. The High Observer does say that I'm impulsive. So, okay, I'll run any purchases by you.
That sounds like a lot.
On her face.
You horrible person.
She is clearly a very impulsive child. Clearly we can't just hand her money.
So, under Luke,
Wow.
we're
You're
going
just
to add...
becoming rich from deception. Is that all that's happening over here?
He's already made some money from playing too. He's just gonna stop like every block that we walk. Like, hold on, I just need to play a song real quick. And like, now I got like 20 gold by the time we got to this tavern.
So yes, so you currently have
Why
Rhea's
is
2
your
gold
loot
and
made of
5
gold?
silver. I already added it on there for whoever was looking for a spot to put it.
Let's hit the road.
And I believe you are like right by the gate, right?
We are. We're right close.
All right. I think that's close enough. We don't need to. Yeah, I think that's close enough. We don't need to make another random terrible check. So, leaving the gates of Elturel, so Kane, once again, thanks to being from Elturel, you recognize one of the 2 guards that are posted at the gate. She's an older woman, maybe like early 40s. So she's kind of an institution here. She most likely has trained Rhea, and they immediately like get up, hug, they like chit chat for a moment. But you recognize her as Faria Jinx, who has probably arrested you at some point in time in your life. She
What are you talking about?
she like looks at you and like raises an eyebrow but says nothing. The other guard is younger, probably about Rhea's age, and he's young and very nervous, like barely like looking at her, looking at his feet, like turning beet red, while Faria comes over and looks at you all and is like, keep a very close eye on your coin purse. And then she looks at Kane, or well, at Zamar, at Zamar, and your friends in Baldur's Gate.
Too late.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Now, I understand that it's all in good fun, but in Baldur's Gate, they don't just give you a warning and let you walk away. They have your best interests in heart. I hope you understand that.
I need a soundboard for every time a flaming fish shows up. I mean, the sound from the Baldur's Gate game.
Anyway, take good care of Rhea. The High Observer probably shouldn't be sending her out quite yet.
Flaming fists.
You don't want that to be the flaming fist. Be very careful. Don't burn yourself.
I don't have my cards with me. Oh.
So, is anyone paying attention to Rhea and the other guard who are talking?
Is he still beat red?
He's still beat red, yes.
I immediately waltz over to him. You're like, hey, how's it going, man?
Oh,
You use
hello.
vicious mockery on him.
Play music, a little moon music.
Kiss the girl. Whoa, whoa.
Sha-la-la-la-la-la.
Ah, shit. Streams are cut down again. Fucking Disney.
So,
They're still litigious.
so Rhea says, "Oh, Trevik, look!" And she's pointing at her new badge, and he like is gawking at it, like, "They let you take the creed already?"
He's gawking
She's
at the
like-
badge.
Yeah, no, like, and she's like nodding, like look at it, and she like takes it off, lets him like he like holds it reverently before handing it back to her.
I give him a little nudge in the thigh and go, pretty impressive, huh?
It's
Kinda-
amazingly impressive.
She's I don't know if it's like she's your type.
Undeserved.
He like coughs a little bit, and he's like, "Oh wait, I got this shift because I wanted to make sure to see you off." He rummages through his pack. Those of you who are still at the gate see the older woman sort of like smile watching this, and he like pulls out a shiny new holy symbol of Torm, and he's like, I know that the one that the Higher Observer gave you is very important, but I saved up and I got you this. She looks at it confused.
Smooth move, man. Smooth move.
Yeah, she takes it, and she doesn't know what to do for a second. She looks to
I look at her and I go,
"Oh, thank you. Here." She pulls off her old holy symbol and holds it out to him, and he takes it. She's like, "There we go. When I get back, we'll trade them back." Thanks. She gives him like a punch on the shoulder and comes over to the well.
Oh, God. That was as bad as that being.
I'll see what I can do.
He goes back.
The heart maker.
Yeah, he goes back to his post a little dejected. They wave you off on your way down the road. I don't think any of you need to take a short rest, but if you want to, you can. Like, I don't think anyone got hurt, and I don't. Does your bardic inspiration come back with short or long rests?
It comes back with rest until a higher level.
So
Okay.
as we're walking out, because I'm assuming I kind of saw some of that transpire.
Yeah.
I as I walk by, I was like, man, I have taken a lot of doors to the face, but that looked more painful than anything I've ever dealt with in my life. And I've fought demons.
He kind of says, I haven't fought anything more than, I think there was a Knoll raiding party I got to hear stories of, and that's the closest. Very impressive. Take care of her, okay? Take care of all of yourselves. Baldur's
Oh, yeah.
Gate is
I'll take care of
terrible
her, all right.
place. All right.
I pick up.
You got it.
I pick up my bagpipes and give us a nice traveling music as we go on our merry way. I'm riding in the cart. Clearly, I'm not walking. I'm just
There's no one has to walk if they don't want to. And like for those of you who are slow, probably shouldn't walk.
Yeah. Get drunk behind
Yeah,
me.
I'm a ride in that wagon.
I'm just gonna sit here and polish off my Big Mac.
Does anyone have the tool proficiency with riding or land animals?
Nope. I make booze.
That would be a negatory.
All right.
Nada.
So Rhea is the only one who is capable of driving the wagon, is what I just heard.
Wonderful.
You sure did.
Why didn't we take the boat?
And after you calling her incompetent.
So you pass. So it's a nice, peaceful, idyllic hour or so ride from Elturel. With the giant sun at your back, you start to actually get to see some shadows ahead of you.
Thank God.
Yeah. Along the way, unless anyone tells her to be quiet, Rhea is just sort of telling you little bits of stories about Elturel. She talks a little bit about Feria Jinx, who taught her how to use her sword, and she was like a mom to me. Goes around, talks about the High Observer, and she hopes that everything's going to be okay when she gets back, that he won't be too mad. And she's like, he's got a month to he'll blow off his steam, and he'll be fine by the time I get back in a month. Doesn't mention at all poor Trevik. Anyway, does anyone have any questions for her during the ride?
I don't have a question for her. I have a question for our bard. Does that hook up to your computer? Oh,
It is not a
acoustic now.
guitar.
okay.
I do love your commitment to this, though.
Can you push to talk and play?
5 chords, so it's not going to be a long shtick at all.
I don't know how he's going to push to talk and play.
You could temporarily turn off push to talk.
Just put the cat on the push to talk button and be like, stay. All right, so about another hour out from Elturel. Ahead of you, let me just make sure that what I give you, here, I'm going to close this. Let me make sure that I give you an accurate description of what you see ahead of you. You see a woman standing in the road, waving her arms. She has a bow on her back. There's 2 men, an older, he looks to be, you can probably tell from where you are. He's an orc, and those 3 are sort of huddled around a mule that's fallen over. There's also a robed man standing with that little group just sort of off to the side, not doing anything. The woman is waving you down. Do you do anything, or do you just sort of try and ride right by her?
I mean, we aren't in control of where this wagon is going. So
Well, that is a good point. Rhea is going to stop the wagon, and she sort of looks to you all and is like, well, I'll make sure that the horses don't spook or whatever. Go see what you can do to help.
Everyone be on your guard. We don't know these people.
and based off of old rules, orcs are evil.
So the woman approaches with her hands up, clearly trying to be like not a threat. I see that you're coming from Elturel. our mule just got a little sick, and we're trying to make our way over to there. We're returning from a pilgrimage to see the companion.
All right. I go start walking towards the mule. What happened to your mule here?
She sort of steps in front of you and it says, he got sick. We're trying to figure that out. And so maybe you don't want to get too close to it. I don't know. Our holy man in the back is maybe more learned about mule sicknesses than I am. Anyway, who are all of you? My name's Lydia Kindlehall. I'm from Elturel.
Can I do? Let me change my screen here.
Bardic knowledge check.
An insight check.
That's
You
it.
sure can.
I would like to as well.
You also sure can.
I'm
Pretty proficient in medicine. Can I do anything about the mule?
Yeah, you could try to walk right by her and see about the mule.
I probably don't know much.
All right, so Zemar senses that there is something shifty going on. Give me an intelligence check with advantage to see if you actually can pinpoint what exactly that was just said is off. Unless you actually know, and then you could just say, "Oh, I know what this is."
Well, I think it's an ambush, but
Right, but this intelligence check is just to see. That's okay. He had advantage. So
yes,
what
the
she
screen is
just
right.
told you sounds incredibly wrong. And while the rest of you try and figure that out, we'll deal with. Since she's busy trying to keep the halfling from going and talking to him, Ariel, you're able to just sort of walk right by up to the mule.
Wait, this donkey's not a donkey. It's a man.
So as you approach, you smell that something has been very sick for a very long time, and the mule does indeed look in terrible condition. It is just not a pleasant looking mule. The orc kind of looks up at you suspiciously and is about to say something before one of the other two men just is like, if she wants to look at it, let her look at it.
Is there anything that I can do?
So with your medicine check, what you notice, again, this thing has been sick for a really long time. This isn't like suddenly fell sick. It's like fur is coming off. Its tail is all like, it's clearly like got running sores. It has been sick for a good long time. And so you can definitely start taking care of it, but this is beyond your current capabilities to take care of on the road.
So they're on death's door.
Basically. And what's your passive perception? I know I made you write it down and then I forgot that I have it.
12.
Everybody
12
agree.
on both.
On both. So you notice that one of the back of one of its legs has been cut. Meanwhile, back with everyone who's talking to the woman who's like waving her arms, she says once again that we're here to see to come back to see the companion, and as you know, we're here to do our pilgrimage and provide the worship that it deserves.
so my check, did I learn anything?
So that's the next thing she said is also very suspicious. Did anyone take a lot of notes, or I could just tell you because I think you have enough.
He's not actually a god.
Yes. So that is the one thing you noticed right away. So something is not right here.
I say, I mean, are you just trying to prevent that ass from making a mule, that mule from making an ass of us? And I, by just saying so, cast hideous laughter on her.
So when you do that, let me make sure I have this.
Surprise!
Roll for initiative.
Well, we will be doing that too, but let me get what I need first. Yes. So, While Zemar and the woman calling herself Lydia Kindlehall are having a heated discussion, your shadows move. They're no longer in front of you. They are, in fact, now far behind you in the way that they would be coming if there were no companion. It takes only a moment to realize that the noonday sun is the only source of light remaining. Everyone notices this. Easily enough, you notice that back at Elturel, the companion's warm light is gone, darkened as if by an eclipse. The companion turns black, sparking with massive red and pulsing flames. Soon, even those die out. Screams, even though you're this far from the city, rise and die on the wind. Shapes, peoples, animals, carts, loose items, entire buildings are lifted into the air from Elturel, drawn to the companion. The earth shudders. You hear it before you feel it, as an earthquake, as Elturel itself is lifted into the sky. A great cracking is seen. Chunks of earth fall from under the city back to the Forgotten Realms, whatever you call the Faerun. Is that what it's called,
Faerun.
Frank? Faerun. Elturel hovers in the air for only a few moments more, shedding rocks and sand. The companion widens, a great maw swallowing the entire city. The blackness opens once more, spasms, collapses on itself like a dark, dying star, and then it is gone. Only silence remains. From the back, where the orc is watching, he roars out, "We were too late," and everyone needs to roll initiative while I move you all to... Wait until I've moved you to the right place.
Oh, hell.
That happened.
Literally or figuratively.
So is it dark now?
The sun's still up.
It is like, yeah, it's like late afternoon, so it is not direct sunlight anymore. And
Cracks knuckles.
move your player token. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move where I believe everyone was while you were all talking, based on where things were. So this guy's here. Ronald was like right in that lady's face. I assume Rhea's like riding the wagon.
I would say her face, but yeah.
And I assume Zemar